getting over here is harder than it looks because the current can easily put you past that thing, like those platforms that you need to land on, and then you need to make sure that you hit the vines with the fall shot. Now this is more challenging than it should be. Basically, because it's a moving target, the things you want to claw shot, like trying to hit the exact target is not really going to work. You have to anticipate where it's going to be. This seems like it's kind of awkward. I could have sworn I was able to claw shot my way up to it, even though it didn't have the yellow targeting rectangle show up. Not complaining. Maybe I just shot it before it actually showed up. But yeah, confusing dungeon makes you wander around lost because you don't know where to go. On certain staircases, if you somersault, Link might dash forwards instead of rolling. If this is done incorrectly, you'll just bounce against the stairs. Not really sure what the exact timing of that is. You can actually do a Gale Boomerang jump over here. Like, over to this platform. And this actually gets you a treasure chest. I honestly don't know how you're supposed to get this without the glitch. But yeah. Unfortunately, I don't know if it's a huge shortcut or anything. If you deal the final blow to Diababa, the Force Temple boss with Wolf Link, the game will freeze because it doesn't know how to react to that. And obviously you're able to do that because you have the Master Sword early. Basically how you do the early Master Sword glitch is, right after you engage in a fight to unlock the North Faron Woods portal, there's a low section of the cliff near Trill's shop. Face the cliff with a shadow beast in front of you and use Midna's energy field attacks to kill it. This might get you on top of the cliff. Then you walk around the back until the Path to the Sacred Grove appears on the map, and you'll be able to progress to the Master Sword from there. If you warp to Orden, Russell will actually think you're a wolf and attack you, even if you're a human. So that's pretty weird. Like, there's a lot of glitchiness in general in response to you being the wrong form in the early part of the game. Sometimes, like even this room can be confusing. Like, it's possible to miss a boulder that you need to blow up in order to progress to get to the big key. And, like, you can be wandering around not knowing where you're supposed to go. There's also a die in Orden glitch. Get into the deep pool of water near Russell's house and equip the claw shot in L target. Hold this position and move towards the slope next to Russell's house, and Link should fall through it and turn up at the entrance to Orden, with one less heart from falling out of bounds. You can also go out of bounds and fall to your death in Kakariko Village. Well, like Kakariko Village, I guess. Grab a chicken after Link bombs the cave. Head out to go on up to the hot spring. Equip the iron boots, but don't put them on. Fly with the chicken to the wooden platform and land on it. After landing, try to jump towards the hotel. If done correctly, Link will fall through the rocks as if they were a bottomless pit. Yeah, see, this is a boulder that I completely missed. The problem is the mini-maps in 3D Zelda don't show you varying elevations. They just show you land and water. So that's part of why. Like, another thing is you can't zoom in on the mini-map. Like, well, that's also it. Like, in Wind Waker, you had two different forms of mini-maps. You had a more zoomed in one, and then a showing you the entire island one. In this game, it's just the showing. In this game, you can't zoom in or zoom out the minimap at all. And like, I would have liked to be able to completely zoom into the minimap. Like, you can zoom into the actual map if you bring up the dungeon map. And that's good, but still. At the very least, there was one heart here. But for the most part, it just seems to be money. What is it with this game not always giving you hearts when you desperately need them? Something I was trying to do, like when I was playing the foul game in Hylia, was the energy efficient cuckoo glitch. And I could have sworn I pulled it off exactly the way it said to, but for some reason it didn't work. What you do is that you go to Falby's Flight by Fowl attraction at Lake Hylia, pay the fee, pick up the chicken, and fly out a little, and then either equip the iron boots or the magic armor if you have no money. Link will start falling and screaming at the top of his lungs. When his shield looks totally horizontal, unequip the iron boots, and now the chicken will fly faster and descend less than before, and Link's shield will still look like he's falling at high speeds until Link lands. If you jump off a cliff with the chicken again, you'll actually jump much higher than normal. I was trying to show that off, but I guess it's just a Wii version thing? I get that this is supposed to be, atmospheric, but it takes forever. You're falling for a really long time. And this is a boss that I really wish only had the second phase and not the first one. Because the first one is very awkwardly designed. Basically, the problem with the first phase of the boss is that it doesn't account for just how short-ranged the targeting system is, and how short the length of the claw shot is. If it was a well-designed boss, then you'd be able to target it and claw shot out the eye from far away enough that you wouldn't constantly have to put yourself in danger of being attacked just to do it. And I don't know if it's possible to do the quick spin underwater because I just do the normal attack. Maybe the timing's different? But yeah, it's like they expect you to put yourself in danger. And those tentacles will constantly grab you over and over again because you're forced to be close enough for that to happen to pull out the eye. It would actually be good design if you were still allowed to attack with your sword while you were swimming. Why are you arbitrarily not allowed to use your sword just because you're swimming? Why do you have to be weighed down with the iron boots to be able to attack? That's stupid. It's just as arbitrary as Ocarina of Time's limitation where you couldn't use the sword underwater at all. So, if they're going to get rid of that stupid tradition, then there's no reason they shouldn't get rid of this one. I also hate the presence of the bomb fish. Because all they do is just annoy you. And you can't skip that cutscene with the thing putting you in its mouth. This first phase is just very awkwardly designed. If you could target and get the eye to you from much further away, then it wouldn't be so extremely cheap. And you know what's also extremely cheap about this boss? It's completely impossible to drink potions underwater. So if you brought potions with you and you're running out of health and you want to use it, good luck doing that. I guess that they're trying to be realistic because obviously if Link takes the lid out of a bottle underwater, then the contents are going to spill out into the water and he'll just lose it. He won't be able to drink it. But this is a video game. This is a Zelda game. Why can't he just take the lid off the bottle of the red potion and we can just pretend that he's able to drink it fast enough? I mean, I guess the water would get in his mouth before he was able to drink the red potion. But whatever, it just feels inherently cheap not letting you drink a potion in a boss fight. I mean, look at this. And it doesn't help that it takes forever to cut the grass underwater because you're weighed down by the iron boots. And you have to swim to every single grass. Why is there grass underwater? Does the bottom of the ocean actually have its own form of grass? I mean, I guess it is seaweed, but it doesn't look like that because it's not green. Is seaweed supposed to be yellow? Like a sickly, dead color like that? Yeah, this is the only good part of the boss. Like this is pretty exciting. This is a memorable set piece. Although it always feels extremely arbitrary when the game arbitrarily decides that you have to be flung off the boss, and now you have to swim around for a while, impatiently waiting to be allowed to grab onto the boss again. Like, that always feels awkward. Like, you can't just constantly attack him. This boss is very bare bones and simple in the way you fight it. Like, you're just doing one thing, and you're just waiting for your opportunity to do that one thing. And this boss is even more of a nightmare as a speedrunner because speedrunners can't get the Zora's armor. So they have to beat it constantly having this extremely tiny drowning meter. And they have to refill their air with this unreliable glitch. And like, I've never seen anyone do it. Like, I've seen someone just drown over and over and over again trying to beat this boss without the Zora tunic. Like, it's pretty easy to forget what the blue mail in this game is called because it's not called something that's normally called in a Zelda game. Like, it's not called a tunic. It's not technically armor because it's just scales. But yeah, that boss was pretty cheap. There's also a glitch called escaping the barrier. And it's actually pretty cool. When inside a yellow barrier in Hyrule Castle, you can actually escape it and avoid fighting the enemies as a result. What you do is you position the enemy between Link and the barrier and shield attack until they're at the closest point to the barrier, and then do the helm splitter. If you've done it correctly, Link will actually leap out of the barrier entirely. You can actually fight King Bublin in Hyrule Field and Elden Bridge as a wolf. Obviously using the early Master Sword glitch to do it. And when you beat him, King Bublin's wild boar will actually be stuck running around the bridge because you haven't defeated him as a wolf. So, like, the real-time cutscene with Link riding into the sunset with the horse is not going to happen because you're a wolf and you're not riding the horse. So he'll be stuck running around the bridge and you'll need to reset the game because you won't be able to do anything. You can't actually pick up heart containers with your sword anymore in this game, which is pretty disappointing. But I guess it wasn't too necessary. I don't know, it just sounded like it was a useful way to save time. Leave Castletown through the south gate and call Epona. Ride her over to the huge pit. Leave a little space between her and the pit. Change it to a wolf and get on the side of her that faces the pit. Get near the side of her head and talk to Epona. She'll look at Link and actually push him into the pit. Wait a while before ending the conversation, and now Link should be in the river leading to Lake Hylia, and he'll be able to explore it. Apparently, it's also possible to use the claw shot to get into the pit. So yeah, you can actually get into that area that you fly around in with the bird. Okay, so I guess he debilitated the light spirit somehow, just like it was before. This is good for establishing him as a threat. But why didn't he do this earlier? Did it take him this long to find out where they were? Really? Good to see that all of our work was for nothing. Well, I remembered him destroying them, but I guess he just threw them over his shoulder and foolishly allowed her to pick them up again, which was the only way that she was able to actually get into the castle later. Like, he does a good job establishing him as a intimidating, menacing, badass villain. Which makes it all the more weird when they suddenly completely change his personality at the end of the game. Like, that was actually his true personality all along, but it still feels just as jarring. That looks cringeworthy. Seriously, that clearly, like Why didn't that just go into his brain and render him impossible to... Why didn't that just kill him? Like, did it just... Like, it looked like it literally went inside of him. It didn't look like it was absorbed into his aura. How did he even survive? This looks creepy. Like, this is almost at the level of Girahim waggling his tongue at Link. Yes, they did that in a Zelda game. So, was he trying to get her to marry him? Why would Zant ever think that Midna would agree to that when he... After everything he did to her? Like, is he that delusional? Although, like, I guess this works as a pretty good plot twist in that we probably thought that... Like, some people probably thought Midna was actually going to betray us for Zant because, like, she acted so evil, manipulating early in the game. Okay, so did Zant just allow the Light Spirit to be able to rise back to power and do that? And if Zant is a Twilight, how the hell didn't he... Like, why does the light affect Midna differently than it affects him? They're the same species. Why is Zant magically immune to the light when the light hurts Midna for no reason whatsoever? Like, maybe it was the light spirit's magical light, but it controls the same light as everyone else has. Like, that's what causes the regions to have light in the first place, even though the light spirits have never been in any of the previous games. So why do they suddenly need light spirits to generate light for the region now? Like, isn't the sun enough?